right, folks, you can thank Rob Jacoman for kicking my ass and telling me that I need to be creating more content. I need to be doing more show and tell. And you know what, Rob, you're right. I've got a lot I can show and tell, and I spent a lot of time just building things. So today's topic is going to be around building updates. Okay, so you got an SOV for a property portfolio from an investor or a company that owns a bunch of properties, and maybe you are just getting this for the first time and you have a lot of the property characteristics, but you would like to know when or if there are updates made to the electrical, the heating, the plumbing, and the roofing. Or maybe you've got a renewal that's coming up and you've got a whole portfolio of properties that belong to the same owner, and you want to go back through and see, hey, since the last time we quoted this, have there actually been any updates? Well, this is something we're exploring. We haven't released this yet for public consumption at Adventus, but this is something we're exploring because if you've been following along, we have access to the most comprehensive set of building permits nationwide. And we do this because we combine two different vendors together into one, and we can look across both of them to see, are there any updates ever made to this property? So I have blurred out a lot of this SOV because this is a real SOV. I blurred a lot of this out because I know there is some crazy producer somewhere that will try to snipe this. And I know it's like such a huge concern because you spend so much time trying to get an SOV together. But they would want to snipe this and go after this account and say, hey, look, I can get you a quote. So, okay, we're not going to do that. But so I'm blurring out a lot of this. But what I want to show you is here's an SOV. Look how sexy this is. This has so many details. You got this SOV here. And one of the things that we did, and we do this as a service to some of our customers, the people that have been with us from the beginning that we love and we want to support and kind of getting and bouncing ideas off of them, is we actually will let them send us their SOVs. And then we have a type of report that we run here at Adventus called the work history report. And essentially what that is, we just pull permits for the address. So they give us all the addresses. It's in this column here. They have all these different addresses and we run them through, and then we go and we manually update this report for them. But this is something we're exploring because what if you could just drop in a spreadsheet with all the addresses of the properties and we just run through, and we can do this for you where we can tell you, hey, look, here's some updates made to the wiring or to the plumbing. Here are, some updates to the roofing. We also color code these for you because this is the nuances of permits, is that permits are not always very descriptive. They're not always very precise in how they're describing things. So we'll flag and say, hey, look, they said there's some electrical work done. We don't know for sure. But you can see we flag that and say, hey, there's some language that's a little bit unclear. And we'll put the comments here and then a link to the actual raw permit data here, which is to our work history report. So this is something we're exploring. If this is something that's like interesting to you, and if you got a lot of properties and you have just a spreadsheet with all of the SOV already created and you're like, hey, have there actually been any updates to the roof, the electrical, the heating, the plumbing? We can try to answer some of those questions for you with permits using our permit database. So work history reports, again, you can run these now. If you have an Adventus account, you can run a work history report for any address and see. But we're kind of testing this out as a service to our customers, and eventually we can automate this where you could drop in a spreadsheet and we'll just modify the spreadsheet automatically with all the data. So this is something we think about. I'm obsessed with building data. I'm obsessed with permit data, and I'm really obsessed with, especially at scale, how this can be helpful. Look, we were able to detect so many different updates, and we were able to really push the needle in terms of the premium for these properties. And that's really powerful. And this is data that our customers didn't have access to before. The property owner doesn't know if this work was done. And besides, if they did, it's still a lot of work to chase them down and try to find this information. So we try to use permits as a way of not only just saving time, but also fundamentally it's shifting the dynamics of the underwriting to provide a better premium for property owners. Okay, I've gone on too long. Last thing I will say, I'm wearing today my Agency VA polo. Big fans of the folks at Agency VA. Big shout out to them. Love those folks. They were really some of the early adopters of Adventus, and I owe a lot to the team over there, to Wes and to Dan Nash and everybody there. So if you are looking for virtual assistants, got to go to Agency VA, got to talk to them. All right, thanks for watching. And again, Rob, thanks for kicking me the ass and telling me to do more content. Here you go.